have to get there. I cannot afford to fail.
There's days that I feel like imposter syndrome. You know, what am I doing here? Or, you know, should I even be here?
It is hard to believe where you've come from. It's kind of like, Jesus, is this really me?
Every year, thousands of students in Ireland begin a life-changing adventure through higher education. But for people with a disability or those from disadvantaged backgrounds, dreams of college have often been just that, a dream. But thanks to the success of access and disability programs, a more diverse range of students are getting the supports and encouragement they need to reach their full potential. In this series, we follow 7 university students, each with a set of challenging personal circumstances as they negotiate an unprecedented academic year. Stressful, emotional, and uplifting. From this unique class of 2020, these are the stories of their uni life. As the country grapples with the impact of COVID-19 restrictions, Irish universities begin to settle into the new normal, and students are learning to cope with the changing face of college life. Usually at this time of year, graduates are looking for their first permanent position in the workplace. Chrisdina O'Neill, a recent graduate of her Masters of Education course at University College Cork, is doing just that. From the outset, her ambition was to teach.
When you stand in front of that class and you see the light bulb moment where they get what you're talking about, this is what it's all about.
She's decided to take up an offer from a secondary school in the north of England to kickstart her teaching career.
I was excited, I was scared, I was nervous. But then it all quickly dropped because I realised I have to tell my parents. That was the most scared I've ever been in my life, knowing that I have to go and tell my parents that I'm not only moving out of home, which was a no-no, I'm moving country. For a while I was almost thinking I'm going to have to just leave a note and go because I have no other way of going. So eventually I told them 2 weeks before I was to leave. It did not go well. They took it really badly. I think for them it was the unknown. Knowing that their daughter was going into the unknown was a big thing. Eventually I got around them and I explained that they've had their start in life. I now need mine, and I've made this decision. I refused to not be in a classroom in September. So now I'm in a classroom 5 days a week, and I couldn't be happier. Hi, Mum. I've got so much behind me, and I had to overcome so much, but I'm glad I did. I wouldn't change any of that. The fight back with my parents or the push back, I wouldn't change that. The struggles with money, I wouldn't change that either. All of that has really shaped who I am and shaped me as a teacher. So I'm so glad that I have all that experience behind me and I can bring it into the classroom for those kids that might be coming from similar backgrounds, that I have all this experience that I can share with them that not many people might have.
I'm incredibly proud of Chrisdina. You know, I feel really privileged to have been part of her journey and to have known her from the start and to see how much she has achieved along the way. From a young student who had very little confidence in herself, to see her grow and develop during the years, and now to become a professional in the area that she had dreamed of working in. It's fantastic, and I feel privileged to have been part of that journey.
Back in Limerick, UL student Shaun Fogarty has spent months confined to his house due to the COVID-19 restrictions. Because of his special medical care needs, Shaun is particularly vulnerable to the effects of the virus.
I literally did not leave the house for 2 months at all. You know, went for a walk and went around the block where I'd meet nobody, and that was it. Got our shopping delivered, cleaned everything down when it came into the house.
No, obviously haven't had a haircut since the start of American actually. That's the one thing now, so I must do that soon enough. But apart from that, everybody here is quite good with the mask wearing and with the sanitation and all that. I know that they wouldn't be bringing stuff in around that I haven't had to worry too much because of that. I've had sepsis and I've had pneumonia, I've had all that before, so I wasn't too nervous myself.
Yeah, I think I am his worrier sometimes, am I?
Probably,
A little bit.
Shaun is remaining positive during his time in lockdown. He is working part-time for Cloud Assist, whose technology enables people to work from home.
I've actually been lucky enough now because I finished up in the college there about mid-February and I started with Cloud Assist, so I was able to do a lot of work through them, and believe it or not, actually I know there's a lot happened, but it actually suited me a bit in the pandemic as well because everything went online. In real raw terms, basically what I do is I secure accounts and all that, so I ensure that the likes of using the same password for everything doesn't really happen. So that's kind of what I do, is just make sure everything's more secure.
As the first day of the new semester approaches, staff in every university are busily preparing to welcome their new students. In UCD, Anna Kelly and her colleagues are preparing to meet the university's first-year access students for the first time.
This morning is the start of our welcome programme. We're welcoming 1,500 new access students to UCD, so we're here putting the final touches. We're taking the students through various activities throughout that ceremony. I suppose the most important one is the pinning, where these students are transferring from applicant to UCD student. With access students, the thing that's really important is to help them make the connection to us. And that's another challenge for us, to do it virtually, to reach out and to let them know very clearly that they are welcome. And we can't wait to meet all 1,500 of them. We're nervous, but we are thrilled. Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to meet you all, and I hope that you're getting the very best view of what awaits you when you come on campus.
Across the city at Trinity College Dublin, it's a far cry from the usual Freshers' Week that most students can remember.
This is my first week back, so this is my first day on campus. It's just so nice to be able to see our class, fellow students, and just to be able to interact with people socially in a normal way.
I'm a first year, I'm just coming in, but having to meet people online and do everything online is just so weird. You know, you can still come in and have a look, but overall it's just weird.
Of course it's going to be different for us this year. It's a new normal for us nowadays. But I'm still excited to get through college and go in whenever I can to do whatever. Maybe when the restrictions are lifted a little bit, we can go in and do groups of 15 or whatever and use it still the sports facilities. So I'm still looking forward to it, I'm still excited.
This year, with only a small percentage of students allowed on campus, health and safety measures are being put in place. Now in her last year of college, business and sociology student Courtney McGrath is helping to prepare the campus for its new students.
The student breakout spaces mean that if students have online classes or they're in between classes in person or they're in classes online, that they're able to just go to use the student space. Here all the tables are spaced out so students can, heat up their food or talk to their friend at like a social distance. If students scan the QR code, they can book a slot for 45 minutes. And then, we just have all the list of people that booked in, and then we get their contact details just for contact tracing. After they're finished their 45 minutes, we clean their table for 15 minutes, and then another student can use the space. Hasn't been busy this week, but this is like Freshers' Week, so it's very unusual Freshers' Week, and there will be more students when the lectures get a bit more regular and there's more tutorials.
The experience of this year's first-year students is replicated across every university campus. Denise Kelleher from Mayfield in Cork is heading to University College Cork for the first time since being offered a place on the International Development and Food Policy course.
When I was in secondary school, UCC Plus used to do a homework club, and I didn't like school. I never thought I was going to carry on my education. But my mum and dad were like, Denise, go, you have to go. Like, and I'm happy they did make me go, because going there to that homework club and being paired with the UCC students really inspired me and motivated me to want to carry on my education, because I never talked to any university students. I know no one that went to university or anything like that.
About 25% of the students who come into UCC through the CAO process every year are coming in through access pathways. This is really great to see the impact that the Access programme has had on a student like Denise. And now we know that Denise in turn will go back out to her school, and she'll motivate and inspire many others in her school, in her local community and her extended family.
Obviously, like, we're just first year now when it's online, so we don't get to meet our classmates or anything like that. But like, from being online, we have actually a group chat, and I know I don't know him physically, but like, we're always texting the group chat, so I feel like I actually know him, but I don't know him physically. But mentally, in my head, I think they're my best friends. Like, honestly, we're just always chatting away. I'm most looking forward to hopefully getting to go to a face-to-face lecture soon. I haven't been inside a class since early March, so hopefully soon now.
Maynooth University's Alpha Ike is now in the last year of his computer science degree.
I always had my heart set on Maynooth. When I joined, like, it was just as good as I thought it would be, which is not always the case.
Together with his friend Calvin, both are spending a lot more time in their new study space in Alpha's rented home in Maynooth.
To be honest, I think every day we're just learning. It's like learning how to walk again. Everything's new. Nobody exactly knows what's going on, but you just have to just try your best.
So you're just between a rock and an extremely high place. It doesn't even feel like I'm in college anymore, do you know?
No, it doesn't seem the same, like, and it doesn't seem fair. My final year is worth 70%.
Yeah.
And it's very competitive in computer science, because I started off with 250 plus people started off in computer science, and we only have 50 left. This lecture I'm going to go into now, it's actually pre-recorded. This isn't sitting in front of someone asking questions and trying to figure out problems. It's literally you're told information, and that's it. Going from a hands-on course like computer science, where you're doing something, you're programming, you're like writing stuff up, doing projects, to having everything online, it doesn't suit everyone. Do you know what I mean? Just learning everything from a computer screen is just not ideal. Due to COVID, a lot of stuff, that decisions I would have to make further down the line, I have to make now. Like for stuff like doing a master's or stuff like graduate programs after, or jobs as well, because companies are trying to get it done as quick as possible before, if there is a potential future lockdown. They want all that submitted now. These are big decisions you shouldn't just make on a whim. It is really difficult, and then it does affect you, like this pressure. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Adam Freegrove is no longer a medical student from University College Dublin. Today, he is Dr. Adam Freegrove, and he is based in the Midland Regional Hospital in Mullingar. The former medical student is getting used to the busy life as an on-call junior doctor.
Welcome to the intern mansion, as we've come to know it. I am currently working in Mullingar. I started last Monday. My team was on call over the weekend, and I'm finally off now for one weekend. We'll do, I suppose, a little walking tour of the house while we're here. Scrubs being washed, that's largely what our washing consists of. Nice bathroom. And this is our living room, sitting room. There's television, we have paintings. We made a jigsaw, which everyone's very proud of, so I hope that gets included. And over here, to show you our beautiful commute, the hospital is right across the road. It's my not uni life anymore, it's more my actual working life now. There's a lot I do love about what I do. Practical stuff like putting in catheters in patients, taking bloods, all these practical things, putting in tubes like in people's noses down to the stomach. But a lot of what I do is write notes and admin work and paperwork. So every patient we have that comes in and out of the hospital we have to do a letter to the GP about them, what happened when they came in, and this is for every single surgical patient, all of these here. are pretty much half of our job. So whenever we get time in between everything else we're doing, we always try and sign every single report, try and do every single letter so everyone gets followed up as they need.
There's no point in these.
Like it might not even be septic, the reason he's doing this. Like I'm in the hospital 8 to 14 hours a day, depending on the day, hopefully closer to 8. But I have 3 other interns I work closely with. We're on the surgical team, so we all bond a lot, and especially with things being, when they're difficult or emotional, you know, we're all there to support one another, and there's a lot of fun to be had because we're all a bit of crack, which is nice. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of hard things, but it is all very, very rewarding at the end of the day. Every, you know, thing I do is ideally moving forward for someone's care. Someone's sick, you know, someone's upset, and what we do actually helps. My ideals of why I want to do what I want to do and what I want to achieve still remain the same. Like, I want to have the skills to be able to do what I can to help someone whenever I can, and in the places where it's needed, doing anesthetics or something like that, ICU, medicine, critical care, I still think are things I really, really do want to do, and I'm still very passionate about. I'm very much on the path to achieving everything I wanted to achieve way back when I was sitting on the stairs that day when my dad was like desperately sick, and how far I've come since then is amazing. Like, I actually am doing what I want to do and doing what I love to do.
In Limerick, Shaun Fogarty's boss at Cloud Assist has called Shaun for a quick meeting to update him on his recent work with the company.
Certainly this is a fantastic building, you know, I've done...
This piece of innovative technology is allowing Shaun to virtually visit the UL campus and have a meeting with Cloud Assist's Sean Brady. Shaun can steer and guide himself through the space from his own computer, which is over 70 kilometres away. With an onboard camera, he can see where he's going, and he can even turn 360 degrees.
Well, we've never met Shaun in person. In all this time, we've never met him. We interviewed him in February online, and we then took him on because he clearly was a very capable student, high grades, in fact, I would say nearly top of his class, and he turned out to be a fantastic co-op student. So this is the lecture room that I've spoken at in the past, but I've also attended evening talks here as well, so it's a really good lecture hall.
Nice lecture hall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you giving a talk today, Shaun? Or?
No. My public talks are over these days because of COVID, but yeah. So we'll sit here for a second.
In terms of the placement with Cloud Assist, it was actually the co-op division here got me in speaking with them, so they organised the interview and all that, which went well. It was funny, in the first interview I was saying that the microphone actually broke, so I had to figure out during the interview how to get the headphones to work, which was a bit funny, but I was able to troubleshoot that, and I think it actually worked out better for me in the long run because it showed that I was able to troubleshoot on the fly.
And also the fact that I don't want to point technology as the silver bullet. Like this unit here, the manufacturers couldn't tell us how to use eye tracking software to drive it. So and Shaun, it worked with it, experimented, and he got it working. The eye tracking software does have its restrictions compared to, obviously a keyboard and a mouse. So that does obviously present challenges, but each challenge can be an opportunity to fix something. So I think Shaun has that right. He actually has 3 different eye tracking software running on his PC. So he actually had to experiment with all 3 to overcome problems. Rather than seeing problems as a blocker, he obviously saw it as just another issue to overcome, which I think is what his attitude is all about. His co-op placement finished last week, and we've offered him part-time work, as well as doing his final year project with us.
It was a great sense of achievement to be able to say that I'm qualified enough now to work within the industry. Like, I didn't think I'd be working anywhere near computers back about 3 years ago. I thought I wouldn't be anywhere even touching a laptop, so it's great to be able to say now that I am able to work and lead in parts of the industry that I work in.
His story, he's absolutely inspirational. Even gone back to college, just to do that alone but he's going way beyond college now. He's now taking a part-time job with us. His career opportunities now, because of remote working, has multiplied. He can get a job anywhere in the world now.
Back in Trinity College Dublin, Courtney has been busy in the lead up to the opening of the Trinity campus. She meets with the college's Disability Service Director to discuss the recent setting up of the Trinity Ability Co-op, a student-led initiative to help its members work towards inclusion in the college.
One of the things that we noticed is there's a whole group of students who don't feel like they belong, and we were trying to find something like a cooperative where people could be a part of something and not feel like they have to do something or have to be in that. So she was charged with looking at that model, and I think she did a fabulous job. She had a team of about 10 people around it. They developed all of these resources and materials.
I think it is very important that students with disabilities have that platform to have their voices heard and being taken seriously. So coming together as a group has been a really great way that the college have been able to recognise us and we actually have to take this on board. Hi Mary. I haven't seen you in person because we were working in the co-op and it was all online.
Yeah, so nice. I'm a student with a mental health condition. I have generalised anxiety disorder and I also have dyslexia. The Ability Co-op contacted me and asked me would I discuss some of my experiences of online learning. So it was like a project to just raise awareness of students with disabilities and how they coped with the transition to online learning. So I got involved initially with one video, and that just kind of evolved into doing other projects over the summer.
I hope that more people join and get the confidence to actually say, I actually want this changed, or I'm not happy with the way that my lectures are delivered. It's not accessible to me. I hope they are more willing to speak up.
She challenged the union, she challenged the societies. She also raised issues with the college executive. She's got all of the talents of somebody who's a born leader. And I kept using that language of leadership, and I think that's quite hard for a young person sometimes to realise, well, what do you mean I'm a leader? I don't want to be a leader. And I think that's and that's the best leaders are those who don't want to be leaders. I think that's the talent that she has.
I feel like I have kind of come out of my shell or whatever. I am more confident, so hopefully I will continue on this confident person journey because it's all very new to me anyway.
Next week on My Uni Life, our students look back on the strangest academic year in history.
Degree, finally.
As well as looking forward to their lives beyond university.